tell the people how you got into this and how long you've been doing this?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
So I've been a travel agent for just about 20 years, and I've been doing events for a little bit over 8. And I decided that I was going to start my own business. I had worked at a company before this, and absolutely magnificent woman, one of the best at her craft in doing events and incentive trips. And we just had a small difference of opinion. And so I decided to leave and start my own business. And I just want to give her due thanks. But I think that I can do this on my own, and I'm out there making it happen this year.
I think that's pretty awesome.
I agree. My wife loves it.
Yeah, it certainly has its perks. I will definitely tell you that. So you have been in the travel industry specifically for how many years now?
20 years.
20
started
years.
May 4th, 1990. Oh, actually 19 years. May 4th, 1998.
Okay. 1998. So you've worked with quite a few of the larger travel companies. You've been connected with quite a few people in this industry. If any of you have any questions about the travel industry or event planning or anything like that as we're talking, please feel free to say hello. What's up,
Hi,
Matt Staten? Matt Staten in the house. Kim Pass in the house. Joe Rutland. Hello, Barb Hemmingson Hadidi. Barb Hadidi is a very good friend of ours that Brian actually met in the industry. So thank you for joining us this evening.
Baby's awake.
Baby's awake. Baby just woke up. And there we have it. So I'll have to bring it down a little bit. So you're a corporate events planner doing trade shows for conference planning, awards banquet. A majority of the people know what these things are, but you also do incentive travel.
I do.
So for those of us who may be in this live or who are catching the replay, will you please explain to us what exactly does incentive travel mean and who benefits from that?
Well, the easy answer is everybody benefits from it. I benefit, the company benefits, and the people who are going on the trip benefits. Basically, a properly done incentive trip provides the company a way to say thank you to their employees, their clients, their customers, and other than just a monetary value. Granted, we all like money and it goes a long way, but a properly done incentive trip literally creates lifetime memories. And so let's say that you're a television station and you want to figure out a way to increase your ad spend. Well, we have the November elections coming up in 2018, so we're going to get a lot of extra capital in from the super PACs and campaigns and all that whatnot. But in an effort to maintain that kind of revenue stream over the next year, 2 years, 3 years, a proper way to do it would be to say, if a local company decides to increase their ad spend a certain dollar amount, you say, I'm going to say thank you and take you on a trip, and I'm going to take your top 20 people in the field on the same trip. It gives you a chance to network properly. It gives you a chance to take your spouses on a vacation that normally they wouldn't be able to do. It gives you a once-in-a-lifetime experience because I can do what other people can't do on their own. It's amazing what 20 people's worth of travel spend can buy you these days, and it really helps to be able to make it a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So increasing your customers' loyalty to the brand, increasing your employees' profitability and incentive to work harder for that extra sale. It's a great way to say thank you to those who have made your company successful.
I think that is an excellent description.
Thank you.
So you're welcome. So I personally love to have examples, and especially in my space, this digital marketing space that we have grown to love, that I've gotten myself into here. I like to talk to people on a regular basis in some of these groups that are establishing themselves quite a bit. So some of these people like the idea of taking, the top 10 students or top 20 students that involve themselves in a digital course that hit a 10K club or a 15K club. So could you maybe tell us how that might benefit somebody like that to entice these people to maybe improve their business and take their business to the next level and kind of show them how that, I hate to put you on the spot right now, but basically I think that this is a really good opportunity to talk about this in this community that we're in. This is a really huge space, and I feel like, especially after last night's conversation talking about influencer marketing, I think that doing an event like this could be very beneficial. So basically what I'm asking you is, can you do this anywhere? Can you do this on a cruise? Can you, like, you can go on any location? Kind of tell us a little bit about that and how that might work for you and
Absolutely.
how you'd be involved in that.
So yeah, I mean, any kind of a sales goal can be set. The idea here isn't for the company to lose money. So you definitely want to be able to make it to where at least the cost of the trip is absorbed by the amount of revenue that's extra coming in. But yes, it can be done on a cruise ship, a little 4-day sail out of Tampa Bay port down to Cozumel and back. It can be a full-on 7-day trip to Ireland. It could be a trip to Napa Valley when it's unfortunately not on fire. It could be a trip to New York City and a private cruise of the Hudson and Potomac rivers. There's just a ton that can be done in an effort to give these people something to strive for, other than just, again, an extra chunk of change in their paycheck.
So my next question, thank you very much for answering that. I think that's a great answer. My next question to you is, what do you do for these types of trips? Where do you come in? How does it start, and how does the flow go? Like, what can people expect to work with Brian Leto?
Fantastic. Well, this will actually tie into Jake Adams' questions of some of the pitfalls of running your own event. Anybody can do what I do. I mean, literally anybody can do it. So there's not any one particular reason why you should use me over trying to do it yourself. But there's a couple instances where I would come in handy. For instance, I'm going to save you tons of time in trying to organize this yourself. Maybe you don't know all of the types of people to call. Maybe you don't know the destinations and what can be offered. Maybe it's the case that you're just, again, you just don't have the time to do it yourself, and you don't have the experience of knowing what's going on. So that's when you call me, and I will put together a proposal for you. Let's say you say, I want to do a trip for 25 people to both a hot and a cold weather destination, and let me decide which one is going to be. Fantastic. I'll give you 4 or 5 different options of each. I'll give you all of the price points. I'll do all the research on the best venues and the best optional activities. I'll organize a golf tournament if you want it. I'll do hunting expedition, fishing expedition, anything that you can think of. As long as it's feasible and humane, I can make it happen. I can also contact any AV distributors that you may need. I'll contact any pipe and drape companies, transportation companies. I'll organize flights. I'll organize hotels. I literally take everything that has to do with this event and I put it on my own liability. It's me coming up with this stuff, of course, with your input as much as you want. But I'm the one who is going to be able to say, oh, you forgot about this. Let's reconsider this situation. So some of the pitfalls you could run into, maybe you forget that in order to do a production, you need to have a sound mixer. Maybe you thought that a 4:3 screen as opposed to a 16:9 widescreen is the way to go. There are those small little intricacies that come into play. And again, probably the most important reason that you would want to hire an event planner is you don't want to try to do this by yourself. There are things that you're going to forget, or you're trying to meet another deadline and all of a sudden you forgot to call this hotel and reserve the space and now it's all gone. I don't do that. I'm the one who takes the responsibility and I let you do your job, so that way I have time to do mine.
So I will say, as your wife, as somebody who we both work from home, remotely from home, so I do want to say this to our audience, the people who are watching now or catching the replay, that I listen to him on the phone often, and I will tell you, he's very tenacious when he gets on the phone with some of these hotels and resorts and different places. He doesn't let them try to strong arm him in any way as far as fees are concerned. He knows what the going rates are for pretty much everywhere, why it's going to be pricier during different times of the year. So can you just kind of walk people through that kind of a conversation, like, what would be a conversation you might have with a hotel or a cruise ship, if they say, hey, we can do it for this much of a price. kind of tell them a conversation that you would have from a sales perspective, just so that people understand what exactly you go to bat for them.
Absolutely. I mean, for the most part, actually, it's funny. A lot of the hotels and cruise lines don't do a lot of bartering because they know that the people that are calling them are well versed. But in the event that I do feel like I'm being overpriced or that we're going to take a hit somewhere, I would reference any past events that I've held at that location or nearby locations. I would reference going rates at separate hotels. And I don't just contact one hotel. I will contact 4 or 5 in the area to get that comparison point and be able to say, okay, I understand that you're a Marriott, but this Hilton is offering this. Keep it on par with each other. And if it's the case that I just don't feel comfortable going with that, I'll explain it to my client. Say, I think that we're being a little bit overpriced and we need to go with a different option. But again, that's why I always choose 2 or 3 different locations based on the trip. Or the event, trade show, whatever the case may be, simply because there always are those small obstacles to overcome, and you got to be prepared. And the best part is, if I hit them on that spot, if they give me a price and I'm right there to combat with them and say, no, I think it needs to be another $20, $30, $40 cheaper per night, it gives me a lot of extra leverage. They know that I know what I'm talking about, and oftentimes they'll meet me at least in the middle.
That's awesome. See, and again, I hear these conversations all day long, so I know that these are the conversations that he's having. That's why I'm probably the best person to be asking these types of questions. So I want to shift gears a little bit.
Yes.
We have a lot of people, the holidays are upon us, and when the holidays happen, a lot of people are traveling.
Yep.
And so since you are so well versed in the travel piece of this industry, what are a couple of tips? I know one of the things that that you and I had talked about throughout the years that we've been together, and something that you recently obtained for yourself was TSA clearance.
Yes.
I would love for you to tell people a little bit about how that works and why that can be extremely beneficial for them, especially if they are in business and they travel often.
So, probably the main benefit of being TSA cleared and doing the pre-check is the fact that you can bypass the normal security line, go directly to the TSA line, which is becoming a little bit longer and longer these days the more that people are becoming enrolled in the program. But it is just a completely different experience when you go through both security lines. In the normal security line, you're going to need to take off your shoes. You're going to need to take off your belt. You're going to need to, as of recently, and TSA just started doing this in 10 airports. I believe the first one was Greenville, Spartanburg. And they're going to start expanding it to other airports around the country. You will need to now take out of your carry-on bag any electronic that is larger than a cell phone. Mm-hmm. So even like an iPhone 7 Plus is technically larger than a cell phone, even though it is a cell phone. Tablets, e-readers, any other device that could power on that's large needs to be out of the bag. It's going to make it easier for the agents to x-ray the materials. If you have TSA pre-check, you do not need to do any of these things. You leave your belt on, you leave your shoes on, you leave everything in your carry-on bag, and you go through. There have been times where I don't need to take a check-in bag. I'm going to go to Texas for 2 days. I'm just going to take a carry-on. With my TSA pre-check, I could literally show up at the airport 30 minutes in advance, get through that security line, and get on my seat, on the plane in my seat without having a single first problem. Now, I don't always recommend that. Sometimes traffic is really bad. Sometimes my kids keep me from leaving my house on time, but it's definitely a benefit. Now, the TSA pre-check for domestic travel, unless they've changed the price, is $85, and it's good for 5 years. So if you're going to travel more than once a year on domestically, I strongly suggest you get the TSA pre-check. If you want to travel internationally, the global pre-check is, I believe, $135, and it's good for 5 years. And you go to Universal, I think it's UAE, it's Universal Admission Enrollment, and they will do a small background check. It'll take you about 2 weeks to get approved. But again, it's good for 5 years, and you can just skip all the security hassles along the way. And especially now that they're going to ask you to take more things out of your carry-on bag, I strongly suggest you get it.
So if any of you who are watching now or catching the replay, if you are someone who is traveling over the holidays, or you know someone who's traveling over the holidays, definitely, comment in here travel in the comments. Something that I love about my husband is that everywhere we go, no matter where we're going, he knows the fastest way to like kind of just beeline through everything. So it's always like just appreciated. I feel like I'm a pretty avid traveler. I was an avid traveler for many years, and it's just nice to know that I've got somebody right here in home who always kind of like keeps himself in the know on what's going on in the travel industry, and the different types of flights that people can get. Now, something that's always been interesting, every time you talk to anybody, we get family members and friends that call us all the time that say, "Hey, Brian, can you book us some travel?" Now, you do specialize in group travel.
That is correct. Okay. I focus on, corporate events and trade shows, awards, banquets, things like that. But I will do personal travel every now and then. It's even if I don't book it for you, I'm happy to answer some questions for you. I have no problem with you picking my brain. But yeah, I do like to focus on the groups. If it's a cruise, more than 10 cabins. If it's a flight, more than 15, 20 people. But I will reach out to my friends and family and do the occasional personal, I need to go to Disney for a day. Fantastic. I'll book those tickets for you.
So I do want to ask this question to you, because it's a common question. I like to hit objections up front before they come in. A lot of people say, why do I need to call a travel agent when I can just get on Travelocity or Orbitz or this or that or that? So answer that question for me, because I personally know that what the answer is to that, but I think that sometimes with some of those automated systems, they don't always, and you've said this before yourself, that it doesn't always come back with every possible situation to save somebody money.
Correct.
So a good travel agent will
do just that. There's circumstances that come into play. Maybe that there's a sale going on from, say, Tampa to Denver, and you actually want to get to Salt Lake City. So route someone to Denver and take advantage of that sale. Let's say that you know exactly where you want to fly, you know the best deal. You know what hotel you want to get to. Well, how are you going to get to that hotel? Let me organize some kind of transportation for you. While you're there, what are you going to do? I find a lot of people, and Whitney Nicely was one of them, who knew exactly what she wanted to do when she went to California, but she said there are 4 days that she was unsure of what to do, and she didn't want to just sit there in a hotel room and guess, oh, well, maybe we should go here, maybe we should go there. So they contacted me. I organized a helicopter ride for her over LA. We did a wine train in Napa Valley. So there are definitely things that can benefit just the knowledge of having a travel agent, because chances are we've been to the location that you want to go to, and we know what's good and we know what's bad. We know there are certain times of the year that you don't want to necessarily travel because maybe it's tourist season or there's hectic weather along the way. So just at least ask somebody who's in the know, some kind of a travel agent or event planner, and get their feedback. And then, if they give you good advice, maybe you don't use me the first couple, 5, 10, 15 times, but then eventually you're going to go, Brian has never let me down. I'm going to start using them, and save yourself the trouble. I literally do everything for you. Why would you want to try to book everything on your own? And I have connections with the airlines, the hotels, to be able to change up those cancellation procedures. So if you buy a ticket on Travelocity, then you're stuck. You have that ticket. I mean, you try to negotiate that 24-hour cancellation maybe, and then you may have to talk to the customer service or whatever. I'm your guy. You book through me, you have me. I'm there to answer your questions. I can void tickets. I can reissue. I can find lower fares if it's in the market, and I do. I'm one of those guys that, depending on if I think the fare is going to be going down, I will issue you a ticket, and then I'll just keep looking, and if the price goes down, I will validate that difference in airfare. A lot of companies don't do that. So always talk to a travel agent, no matter what you do.
Wow, that was probably one of the best. No, I'm serious. That was probably one of the best answers I could have asked for on that, because it's 100% true. And it's funny. Brian will go to bat like in such a big way. He'll be on the phone and wait with the airline for like over an hour just to get the airline on the phone for sometimes the simplest thing that, you know, he gets them on the phone, he gets the issue fixed, he makes sure that the person doesn't get overly charged, that the airline doesn't, you know, screw anything up, and if they do, he's on the phone and he's basically taking care of it. So this guy puts out fires with the airlines.
And that's the thing. I mean, you know, it's my name on the line, it's my credibility on the line. So I had a situation come up with my brother-in-law. He was accidentally, and I don't know if it was accidentally on the airline's part, but he was charged money when he shouldn't have been charged anything. And so he let me know, hey, I had this charge on my card, called the airlines, got it fixed. A couple of days later, it actually hadn't been fixed. I had been, you know, they basically lied to me and said that they were going to fix the problem, and they didn't fix the problem. I was on the phone with them for an hour the next day. As soon as I found out that it hadn't been fixed, an hour on the phone. And then the next day, an hour on the phone. And then I talked my way up, and I got a supervisor involved and all that good stuff because I knew what questions to ask. I knew that the charge was erroneous, and you know, it was my name on the line. I don't want my brother-in-law or any other client out there thinking that I don't know what I'm doing or that I'm making mistakes. So I take that to heart. And you know, I try to. Everybody can be satisfied 100% of the time. So I'd rather you be satisfied 100% and me not, if that's the case.
That's awesome. Hey, so we've covered incentive travel.
We have.
We've covered why people need to have an event planner.
Yes.
We've covered individual travel.
Correct.
We've covered things about TSA.
Yep.
I feel like the only thing that's left to do is some shout outs. I'm just saying. So if you guys are interested in hearing, my husband, he was really excited about doing this tonight. I have to say, he's got a list of people.
I have some people.
And it's something that he loves that I do. Actually, it's one of his favorite things about my business that I do. But if you are ready for some shout outs, business shout outs, let me please hear it in the comments. Can you please, in the comments, let me hear shout outs, and we are going to get this party started. Also, if you're ready to hear the shout outs, make sure you tag the person that you hear, if you do hear somebody that you recognize, and make sure you share this out, because this is one of the bigger things. This is the revolution that we're doing, right? It is the beginning of the holidays, and we just want to help as many small business owners as we possibly can. So I want Brian to shout out. Oh, he's going to shout out, baby. He's going to shout out. So without further ado, Brian,
all right,
let's get this party started.
So, you know, I'm going to try to keep it somewhat local because I'm a member of a networking group that's in the Tampa area, and so I want to throw out a couple local people. But first, above anything, it's going to be Dr. Marnita, because this right here, Dr. Marnita, she is an amazing woman, Dr. Marnita Sandifer.
That is truth.
Look, if you want to talk to an extremely educated, just high energy, nonstop, absolutely beautiful woman, Dr. Marnita is the person that you want to speak to. She not only gets you excited about her business, but she gets you excited about your own business. I mean, she will talk to you, and she comes up with things. Again, I've been doing this for 20 years in the travel industry, 8 years in the event planning side, and she still comes up with things that I didn't even think of. And I'm like, you know what, that's absolutely amazing. And then she knows people that I need to talk to, Rich Fika, and it's one of those, you got to get on board with the doc. She is an absolutely amazing woman. If you aren't local and you can't have a one-to-one with her or sit down, then I highly suggest you Facebook Messenger and just you got to talk to the doc. I absolutely love Dr. Marnita. Dr. Marnita on fire.
On fire. I think that is absolutely fantastic. I just made sure that everybody was aware that we are in the process of doing some business shout outs on a separate post. So if you're not already in this thread, you better join the party, because I got some people to shout out too. So I think, are we going back and forth?
Yeah.
All right, we're going back and forth. We're going back and forth. I wasn't ready to go back and forth, but we're going back and forth. All right, so the first person that I want to mention, shout out tonight, is actually, he already mentioned her name earlier. I want to mention this girl. Let me just tell you something about this lady. She is a value-packed real estate, like, mind. She's incredible. Guys, if you're not following Whitney Nicely, you better do it now. If you have any idea at all in your brain that you are interested in real estate investment at all, flipping houses, buying, investing, anything at all, renting a property, whatever the case may be, buying a piece of land, this girl knows. She knows law. She knows, I mean, she wrote a book. She's got a free group out there. We're going to be popping all of these names into the feed with their group links if they have a group link. But Whitney Nicely has a free group, and she is absolutely fantastic. Please go check her out. That's Whitney Nicely, Nicely. Please go check her out if you are interested at all in real estate investing. Yes, 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 yes. There you go. All right, your turn.
The next, I'm going to be a little bit biased on this one, but I have to shout out LuLaRoe by Joy and Kim. Look, Kimberly is my sister. She's joined this group. Kim Leto Weiss, welcome. These ladies have done everything possible to make their business grow in such a short amount of period of time, and they are killing it.
They are killing it.
And if you don't know what LuLaRoe is, it's a fantastic line of clothing. They have camisoles, they have shirts, they have leggings. My daughter has like 12 pairs of leggings. And they're adorable. They have such fine prints, and they're super soft, super comfy. I don't wear them, but she does, and I get to touch them all the time. And they are amazeballs.
So I will say this about LuLaRoe leggings, especially for little girls. So the sizes are like zero to like, it's like 2T to 5T. So my daughter got a pair of leggings when she was 2. She is 3.5, and she still wears them. Every time we put her in the LuLaRoe leggings, she absolutely loves them. So I'm not going to try to hard sell you on LuLaRoe, but they really are fantastic leggings, and you're not going to find any kind of fabric out there anywhere. I don't care what anybody tells you. It is really some of the most comfortable material I've ever put on my body. Go check out Kim and Joy.
Absolutely.
And honestly, like, I have to give a quick shout out as well to Kim and Joy, because I've consulted them, I've coached them on how to do certain things with their business, and they have implemented everything that I've coached them on, and I am extremely proud of what they're doing with their business.
No, seriously.
Good job, Kimmy. Good job, Joy.
LuLaRoe by Joy and Kim. And again, you don't even have to be local if you want to buy their products. If they don't want to ship it to you, I will buy it, or I will ship it to you. You know, we'll figure out a way to get it to you. It doesn't matter if you're in the U.S., if you're in Canada, if you're wherever. As long as it doesn't, you know, get held up in customs, we will get you your products. LuLaRoe by Joy and Kim. Check it out.
Go check it out. And Kim Leto, right? She's in the comments. If you can't figure out how to find their page, just click on her name, because it's all linked together. You'll find them. Trust me.
Nice.
And they're a lot of fun to watch live, too. They do live streams all the time. They're always, I mean, they sell out so fast, I don't even get the cuts that I want. So
it's awesome.
Thank you, Kimmy. Thank you, Kimmy. Okay, so, all right, here we go. My turn again. All right, who's next on my list? Let's see. I was hoping that you didn't have her on your list, so I think I don't see her on your list. Okay, nope. I'm going to go for it. So I had the esteemed honor and privilege of meeting a very wonderful lady today. She is a part of my husband's, I think she's a part of your BNI group, possibly.
She's in BNI. She's actually a part of BNI Network Partners.
Okay, so she's
Dealmakers.
I met her through my husband, long story short. I actually met her through Dr. Marnita. I showed up to Spa Cafe Tampa today, and Ali Serrano was there. Ali Serrano Portraits, and let me tell you something, this woman had a pinstripe like suit on. She had all these like pieces of equipment for the photography. She was walking around the whole cafe, the whole Spa Cafe, like walking around with her camera, taking pictures. We connected. She is a very, very lovely lady, and she is a very passionate photographer. So if you haven't already checked her out, I did a couple of lives today, and I know that. But on Instagram, she is at Ali Serrano Portraits. That's Serrano. We are now.
Ali is Allie.
That's correct, Allie. She's actually we're Facebook friends, so she's in my friends list too. So Allie, last name Serrano. She is in the Citrus Park area, but she is a traveling photographer. So I'm going to be doing business with her myself. We're going to be going in there for some family portraits, some headshots, and I'm doing a special surprise for my family too. So I'm really excited about that. So go check her out. And you're next.
All right. Next person up. I only had the opportunity to work with this gentleman once, but I will be working with him quite a bit more. Mr. Quentin LaFrench Kamek. I hope it's Kamek and not Kamak, but either way, you're a pretty good dude. He is with LaFrench Digital. He is a designer in Atlanta, and I basically posted in Trish's Instagram group about 5 days before I was going to do participate in a poorly run trade show because I didn't organize it.
Oh snap!
But it was the case that I needed to have some of those pop-up banners, and I'm like, I need help. So can someone, you know, put a bid out and create this work for me? And Quentin jumped on it, and not only did he provide me with a superb product, but he gave it to me within a 24-hour turnaround period. So that way, the very next day, I could go and get them printed. And it was such a great job. I got so many compliments on it by, you know, people I know and people I don't know. The guys who were just walking up and down the aisle stopped strictly because of those banners that I had. So Quentin, you are literally the man, and thank you very much. LaFrench Digital, please go check him out. Wow,
that's one heck of a shout out. Quentin, we need to make sure that we are Facebook friends so that we can get you connected on the Expert Connection. I'm just saying. Speaking of experts, I'm gonna hop right back on over to my side of the shout out fence. So I want to give a huge fat shout out to actually one of my clients, and he's not just a client, he's become such a good friend. I mean, I feel like I'm friends with all of my clients. My clients are amazing. I get to work with some of the best people in this industry, in any industry. But I really want to give a big fat shout out to a guy who doesn't just have he's got a great business. He's got a fantastic personality. He's a fellow veteran. And every time I get on the phone with him, I crack up laughing because he's just such a great guy. He's got such a great personality. He's just magnetic. He's just an awesome dude, and I'm really happy and proud that I get to work with him every day. His name is Jeffrey Salzbrun. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not already know him, if you're not already connected with him, Jeffrey Salzbrun is he's a commercial real estate broker. This guy knows his stuff. He also does firearms dealings. I forgot the name of his actual business, but this guy knows his stuff. He is a businessman. He knows exactly what he's talking about when it comes to commercial real estate. And it's really interesting to be working with him on that piece of the business, because I've known regular residential real estate, but to get on the phone with him and talk to him about commercial real estate, it's just such an interesting, way different, completely opposite side of real estate, but it's very interesting. And he's just a great guy. He's such a great guy, and he is he's just the shirt off your back, off his back kind of a guy. And I'm very happy to be connected with him. He's definitely sent a lot of business my way. He's connected me with a lot of really great people. So I'm very grateful to him. So thank you, Jeff, so much. I'm really happy to know you, and I'm happy to be able to work with you.
Now, in the event that you don't want to work with a really great guy, but you want to work with a really great girl, my suggestion is to go to Miss Leslie Ann Pagan. She is a commercial real estate agent here in Tampa. She's statewide. She has contacts outside of the state if you're interested, but this girl defines hustle. She is, I'm sorry, she defines it. You wrote the definition. She personifies that same definition. Okay. My apologies. But that's how much it goes to show you how much I actually care about Leslie and the work that she does. She is happens to be the vice president of my chapter at BNI, but that's not why I'm calling her out. Because she works super diligently on the BNI portion of things, which takes a large amount of her time, but then she still has the ability to go out and show commercial markets and talk to small business owners who need to change the kind of space that they're in, bartering deals between offices. I want to be where you are and you want to be where I am, so let's just do a lease transfer. She handles these kinds of things. And specifically, if you want to take over Tampa Bay or the state's booming opportunity for growth in the real estate area, really, as an investor or as a small business owner, Leslie is the person to call. She is amazing.
She is amazing. She really is. She's awesome. She's got a great personality too. Those two are like brother and sister.
My
now.
wife thinks something's going on between Leslie and I. It's always business.
It's hilarious.
My business, not her business.
Oh, snap. I just got told. So, by the way, if you're enjoying these this spousal shout outs and you'd like to see this happen again in the very near future, maybe even like regularly, can I get the number 5 in comments? Because I feel like this could possibly be a thing. I'm just saying. If you are enjoying the fact that Brian and I are sitting here together and you'd like to see the Letos be 2.2, start doing more business shout outs together on Saturday Night Lives, hit the number 5 in the comments. The next person that I would like to shout out is somebody who I've been connected with for quite some time. I'm almost certain that we took Facebook ads for entrepreneurs, the course, Dan's course together. In fact, I'm certain that we did. But she is just a firecracker out there in this world. She has been helping a lot of coaches and consultants with their sales funnels and things like that. And I have yet to actually work with her myself. But this young lady's name is Sema Urzuki. And apparently she's in the Tampa Bay area. I think she's over hanging out with Dan for some sort of a mastermind this weekend. But she mentioned that she might be moving out here to Tampa, and I'd be super excited because I just adore her, and she's awesome, and she has tagged me in a lot of things, and I'm just very, very grateful to her. She's a sweetheart. She's a lovely girl inside and out. I'm very happy to be connected with her. So if you are somebody who has a consulting or coaching business and you need someone to create a funnel for you or to consult you on how to create the proper funnel for your business, please reach out to Sema Urzuki. That's Sema, and then her last name, I believe I'm spelling this properly. I could be messing it up, but I'm pretty sure it's Erzouki. So go reach out to Sema, and you'll see her profile. She's adorable. She's awesome. So next.
All right, next is Mr. Bill Bram from the Freedom Boat Club. Let me tell you something.
Ooh, this is exciting.
Freedom Boat Club. They buy the boats so you don't have to. This is it's a great concept, and Bill is an amazing guy, and he will just chat you up, and he's the nicest guy, but he knows his stuff about boats. And let me tell you, you don't have to. We live in the Tampa Bay area, she and I, other people that we know, but the boat club has 143 locations throughout the U.S., 14 or 15 of them located in the Tampa Bay area. And again, for there's a registration fee and then a small monthly membership fee, but you can take out pretty much any size boat that you want, almost any time that you want. And all you have to do, you have to make your way down to the dock, you get in your boat, you leave. You go out and have a great time, catch some fish, catch some rays, catch some snooky, and then come on back. Yeah, snooky.
That's awesome. Yeah.
You come on back in, you park the boat,
snooky,
and then you're done. You don't need to clean the boat. You don't need to gas it up. These guys do it all for you. That's part of the fee that it starts. I'm telling you, this is the way to go. So if you want to go down to the boat show, or you know somebody who went down to the boat show, or you were going to go down to the boat show but couldn't go down to the boat show, you hear I'm saying boat show, don't go to the boat show. Go to Freedom Boat Club. Ask for Bill Bram. He's the man to talk to. Do it. They buy the boats so you don't have to.
By the way, anybody that we're mentioning, please make sure that you mention that you heard about these people on the Expert Connection with Trish and Brian Leto. I'm just saying. So we want to make sure that that this is working. It's really important to me, especially since I've branded this. This is a really important piece of my brand that we know, no matter who I'm interviewing on any particular night that I'm doing shout outs, that the shout outs are getting out there, that people are finding out that we're talking about them, that they are doing that good of a job, that they are being recognized by people outside of their actual spectrum, because that's really important to me. And it's important to me too that I know that they're getting that business because we're shouting them out. So if you do refer any kind of business to them or whatever, please let them know that you heard about them from us. The next person on my list that I would like to give a big, fat, huge shout out to, and I'm actually kind of ashamed. I think I was supposed to shout her out recently, and for some reason I just forgot to. I don't know what happened, but I want to give some love to Tasha Erickson. Tasha she's positive patrol or something like that. I forgot the name of her actual her handle, but go check this girl out, okay? First of all, she's literally like the Caesar, like she is a dog whisperer. She's a female dog whisperer. This girl, she goes live all the time. She does Tuesday lives for sure. She goes live every Tuesday and she gives tips on basically anything that can help you with your animal, with your dog. And she's the dog walker. She's amazing at what she does. But I'm seeing more and more people in my Facebook newsfeed that are connecting with Tasha, that are talking about, oh my God, I just got off a call with Tasha. I implemented all these things with my dog, and now my dog's amazing on the leash. Like, that's amazing. So if you have an animal and you're got a puppy, she's actually proof in the pudding that you can in fact teach an old dog new tricks. So if you don't know her already, please go reach out to her. If you have an older dog or a puppy or whatever, you're thinking about getting a dog for the holidays for the kids, wink, nudge, just saying, then please reach out to Tasha Erickson. She is on my friends list, and make sure that you tell her that Trish Leto sent you her way.
All right, so let's wink nudge back. I told my wife that we are not going to get a dog until we get a new house. So my next shout out is to Mr. Steve Appel, because this guy, he works for Coldwell Banker Real Estate, doing residential, and he's the one who found us this house. It's been a fantastic house. Thank you, Steve. But there are just some things about it that I'm not a big fan of. But my wife wanted it, so we got it. So we're in the market for something new. But Steve is both a buyer and a seller's agent. So if you are looking to buy or sell a residential property anytime soon, please go check out Steve Appel. He is on Facebook. It's APPEL. Dude he knows what he's doing, and he's caring. I mean, we saw how many different homes and
oh my God, we were super picky too. We had our pre-qual in hand. We were very picky. We had a price range that we wanted to stay within. We definitely had certain criteria, and there were a couple of things about the house that didn't quite meet our criteria, but it was in a really good area of town. By the way, I was 7 months pregnant when we bought the house, and I remember turning to my husband and going, if we don't buy this house, we're not buying a house like ever, because I'm not moving after having my first child. So Elizabeth was born in this house. Nicholas was born in this house.
Well, not in this house.
No,
we
right.
definitely at the hospital.
Right,
so
at the hospital, yeah.
No midwife situation.
I had two babies, and basically two pregnancies in this house. So it will be a little bit bittersweet when we move away. But my husband cannot wait to get out of this house. There are too many things about it. He's just like, he's done. He's ready to put this house in the market and move on and buy our dream house, which is why we're hustling so hard. So just saying. But definitely huge shout out to Steve Appel for sure. And I will take it a step further and say, if you are interested in buying or selling your home anytime soon, and you do work with Steve, actually, if you're looking to sell your home specifically, and you do reach out to Steve, if you tell him that I sent you his way, I might even help him out with getting your house listed via the Instagram. I'm just going to throw that out there. So I'm just saying, it might be a little incentive to
Did you say incentive?
I did say incentive.
Did you know that I do incentive travel?
Oh my God, can we please get the Letos off Facebook Live already? All right, so my final shout out this evening is actually to somebody who's become a very special person in my network in the last actually week or two. This is somebody who I connected with kind of inadvertently. We'll just put it to you that way. But ever since the connection, it's been nothing but like really positive vibes, awesome collaborations, lots of love, and just like awesome energy. And I just have to give a huge shout out to this person. His name is Eddie Smith. Eddie Smith, if you guys don't know, you want to talk about being like the bomb diggity at Instagram. So I want to say this really fast out loud, okay? You all know, everybody, has been calling me the Instagram queen for months and months and months. I am absolutely expanding my brand. I'm not saying that I'm not doing Instagram anymore, but I'm certainly expanding my brand. I'm not constricting myself simply to just Instagram. But if you are somebody who you want to blow up your Instagram account, you want to get, you want to go viral, you want to do things like that, please reach out to this guy. Eddie Smith has proven results. This guy hustles hard. He's got a free group. He works with Avanic. So if you don't know him already, go check him out. He's on my friends list. He's been like commenting and liking and doing all kinds of stuff on my feed too. So definitely connect with him. And if you do connect with him, make sure you tell him that Trish Leto sent you his way.
Very good. And I got one last shout out here. This is going to Miss JC Richardson from Organo Coffee. Now, the reason I saved this one for last is because I love me some coffee. And I'll tell you, I'm half Italian, half Cuban. I grew up literally drinking coffee. I think I had my first espresso shot when I was 2 months old. I mean, it might be a small exaggeration, but not by much. And I love a good cup of coffee. Well, Organo Coffee is a very good cup of coffee, and to the point where I actually am entering in to become a salesperson for them, just as, as a little side thing, just because I like the coffee so much. And yes, technically it's an MLM, but I'm not even doing it for that. I'm doing it because the coffee is fantastic. It's instant coffee, but it doesn't taste like it. It's got a nice thick flavor to it. They have black coffee, mocha, latte. They have teas. They have powders, weight loss powders. They have Ganoderma pills, all this. They have a bunch of stuff, but the coffee is amazing. So if you want to be able to put together a nice gift basket for someone for the holidays, everybody drinks coffee. If you don't drink coffee, then you're like my brother-in-law, and
you're like the really small percent of the entire globe that doesn't drink coffee.
But the best thing is that he knows people who drink coffee. So even if he got a gift basket of coffee, he would then turn to me and say, "Hey, Brian, you want this coffee?" And I'd say, "Yes, I do." So he might get a gift basket of coffee.
He might get a gift basket of coffee.
So but JC Richardson, she is a super energetic person, and like I said, I'm going to become a salesperson for the coffee because she convinced me to do it, and it was amazing. But that is the end of the shout outs for me.
That's the end of the shout outs?
Yeah, the end of the shout outs.
Oh boy. Well, Brian.
Yes.
I guess the final question is, who is your ideal client? If somebody was watching this right now, they're watching it live or they're catching the replay, who would be an ideal client, your dream client for AM Productions to work with?
Wow. That's actually really tough because I've worked with quite a few dream clients already. And I've worked with a major food distributor. I've worked with a major janitorial and sanitary supply branding company and association. I've worked with a personal fitness company. I've worked with banks. I've worked with a real estate commission. And I would say that probably the company that I'm looking for is someone who makes probably somewhere between $1 and $5 million in net revenue each year. So it's a larger corporation who would be able to do awards banquets for its employees, would be able to be open for incentive trips for its employees or its customers, would do golf tournaments, things along that nature. So, but basically anyone who wants to put on an event that to be able to say thank you to its employees, but just either don't have the time or have tried to do it in the past and just haven't been able to have that truly successful banquet, awards or meeting or trade show that they were looking for. Now, I will tell you that if I'm not looking to replace anybody's jobs, if they have someone who already does this, I'll be a consultant. Feel free to, tag, put their name down and I'll contact them and say, just wondering if you need any advice. I will say this, if for any referral that comes my way through this chat or through Instagram or just directly to me, if you want to send me a DM, I offer a 1% net invoice referral bonus. And so what that means is if you sent me a 10-person trip to New York City and it was, let's say, $15,000 as an invoice, you just got a check for $1,500. Is that right? No, $150. $150. But if you gave me a super huge full conference and I do their flights and I do their hotels and food and beverage and menu design and all the printing and I do their tournaments and their awards banquet and just the whole shebang, all the transportation, well, that can add up to $500,000-$600,000. You get a $5,000 or a $6,000 check, and every single time that company renews, you get another check. I have no problem writing checks all day long. All you have to do is make that one initial connection. Let me do all the rest of the work. Let me sell. But if you know someone who could be interested in using my services, I will give you cash back. And we'll make it cash for tax purposes, but we won't actually say that.
And I just want to touch on that. Let me just add this. And the only reason why I'm saying this is because, again, I'm in so many of these communities, and I know that you know that I'm in a lot more communities than you're actively in, specifically on Facebook and some other, platforms. But if you know people out there who, I know that there's a lot of bigger marketers, influencers, etc., who are in 2018 are getting ready to put together some huge conventions, right? So they want to bring their community together and say, hey, we're going to do, there's some people, it's called AdCon. Russell Brunson does Funnel Hacking Live. He's going to be here in Orlando. So if you know of somebody who's kind of like an up and coming person like that, who wants to put together a huge convention like that, like a weekend convention, this is a guy that does that right here. I'm just saying.
I got connections. I got the power. I have, we can make it to where the company pays for everything, and I only deal with one person, or the participants pay, and they can go to my Stripe page and pay, online securely, and I will handle all the accounting. It's not an issue for me. I've literally handled small ones. Like I said, I've handled $500,000 accounts already. It's not a thing for me. So just send them my way.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's about time for us to bid you adieu for the evening.
Yes.
We are exhausted. Our children are sleeping. Yes, we are going to have maybe one more hot toddy, I'm just saying, and a cup of coffee, and relax and call it a night. So we want to say thank you very much for joining us this evening. Thank you for joining Expert Connection. Thank you for joining me.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying I don't have much of a choice in the matter.
Well, I mean, right. I mean, I do, it's right here. That's what I'm talking about. I paid $50,000 for that ring. You better have me on this thing.
The price of the ring increases by the day, I swear to God. By like $1,000. It's ridiculous. Anyway, thank you all very much for joining us tonight. We hope you had a wonderful time joining us. Again, if you would like to see this happen again, the Letos come together and do some shout outs on a Saturday night, put the number 5 in comments. If you hit the replay, if you're a replay kid, make sure you hit #replay. And if you heard your name shouted out, make sure you let us know, shout out, so that we know that you heard us. And if somebody if you send somebody that we shouted out to them, you know what I mean, make sure you let them know that you heard about them from us. Oh my God, I'm so tired.
If there were any questions that people have, there was actually one more thing I wanted to actually talk about. But if you have some questions about how to plan an event and you just want to pick my brain, feel free. I do want to say, you will always want to assume that there's at least 10 to 15 square feet of space for each person. So if you're looking to put like 100 people in a room, have that room be between 12 and 1,500 square feet. It just makes it more convenient for everybody. Those are the kind of little tidbits that I offer. Pick my brain. Let's do this.
There's a lot of math involved in it. I didn't even know all that. So, by the way, if somebody wants to contact you, how do they find you?
Well, you can go to anpevents.com. That's Alpha November Papa Events.com. Or you can hit me up on Facebook, or you can send me an email at brian@anpevents.com. You can send it to another address, which would be bleto@a-nproductions.com. But the reason I don't mention that is because of the hyphen. So just use brian@anpevents.com. I'm always available. I'm always working. Even if I'm sleeping, I'll answer you, and you'll know I'm answering you sleepily, because my wife will be hitting me the entire while. But no, hit me up. Like I said, I'm here to work for you. So let's do this.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We are exhausted. We hope you have a great night, get some rest, and I'll be back on live tomorrow with some more business shout-outs. Peace out.